Hello, Henry from Belgium here. Today I'm doing a video about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Since I am a child of the 80s and 90s, I used to have a lot of those action figures. I remember having all 10 figures from the first original 1988 wave, produced by Playmates. It consisted of the 4 turtles, Splinter, and April. And the 4 enemies, Rocksteady, Bebop, Shredder, and the Foot Soldier. Around the age of 13, I lost interest because endless variants and themes were added all the time. There were even turtle versions of farmers with the accompanying tractor. Recently I found these 4 action figures in the attic of my parents. In this video, I will discuss them one by one, along with some background information. Let's start with Leonardo. That was my favorite turtle, and I am happy that I found it back again. He is actually the leader of the group, and you can easily recognize him by his blue bandana. It's the 1988 Playmates original. You can see that by the year on the back. At the very beginning there were 2 versions, a soft and a hard head version. This is the hard head version. The original retail price of such action figures was around €5. Many variants have been released from Leonardo, but for me none can beat this 1988 original. A classic wave was released in 2021 in which they remain true to the original. You hardly see a difference, because even the artwork of the cardboard is almost the same. But if you look closely you will see that the green paint of the turtles is not 100% the same. And also the packaging contains 2 clear elements that are different from the original. I also recovered some of his weapons, but unfortunately one of his main weapons, the sword, is missing and the other one is damaged. On this photo you can see what weapons and accessories he had. Nice was the cardboard that you got with every action figure. There was a lot of information on it and the artwork was always very beautiful. The belt is still nicely intact and I don't see much wear. Nice to see him back again after more than 30 years. The second action figure I want to show you is Undercover Don from 1990. Of course I also had the original Donatello from 1988, but unfortunately I haven't been able to find it for now. Donatello is the one in the group with the good ideas, and you can easily recognize him by his purple bandana. As I said, I didn't really like the variants, but I thought this was a very good and fun theme. The details also appeal to me very much. The jacket and hat are very nicely finished. And so is the expression on his face. The condition after more than 30 years is still very good. I don't remember playing with it much. I kept it more as a display piece. It's a pity that I haven't found the accessories for now. I may have kept them in a separate box. On this photo you can see what was originally included. The mask was a very nice feature in the set. In 1994 a new version was released with Donatello wearing a cloth jacket. There were lots of imaginative accessories and themes, but textiles were unseen in the Turtles line until that point. I personally found it odd, it felt more like a doll to me. Well, I wish I had bought that version, because it is currently one of the most sought-after versions by collectors. Another version was released in 2020. It was a more stylized version. Personally, I still think this original from 1990 is the most beautiful. Nice to see this one also again after more than 30 years. And the last 2 figures that I want to show you actually belong to the same toy line from 1992. The mutations line where they can really mutate from an ordinary turtle to a ninja turtle. It's actually the essence of what the Turtles idea is about. That's why I collected these 7 action figures at the time. This series consisted of the 4 known Turtles, Splinter, and the 2 enemies Bebop and Rocksteady. A version of April and the Foot Soldier was also released, but later in 1993. For now I have Raphael and Bebop. Let's take a look. This is Raphael. He is the turtle who is best known for his sarcastic mouth, and it's the one with a red bandana. I think it's good that the designers have stayed true to the original from 1988. He has the same beautiful grass green color. The condition is a bit worse than the other turtles. I've played with this one a lot, some paint is missing here and there. The facial expression, the limbs and details on them are also almost the same, except for the feet, which can fold in this version. The back with shell is somewhat thicker. But that is of course because he must be able to mutate. In the shell, the limbs are hidden until mutation. I don't have the box anymore, but I remember it had instructions on how to mutate it. When you buy these figures second-hand without a box, you have to figure it out yourself, and that's not that easy if you don't know all the details. In short, you open the shell and you can first turn its head. You can turn these extra legs out of the shell and turn the arms inwards. What people often don't know is that it is best first to turn these flaps down and click them onto the existing belt. That way you can push the legs against the body in a more natural way and the turtle has a normal posture. This is also due to the pliable feet. It is important that you carefully turn those flaps. I remember having to glue several of these flaps because this piece tears easily. And what people often forget is that there is a tail here that you can unfold. See, this is what it looks like in the version of a good common turtle. There were also some accessories. This is a shape change inside. There are 2 in the set. A pizza tossin' ninja star. And this is mutagen, also known as the ooze, which allows you to mutate it from a normal turtle to a ninja turtle. If you look at the original packaging, you can see that it should also include a pet turtle food can, which was unfortunately lost. I think it's a pity that they don't have a separate belt to store their weapons as in the version of 1988. Playmates did also a re-release of this action figure in 2023, which has also remained true to this original from 1992. There are a few minor changes on the packaging, but what strikes me the most is Raphael's color. The green is clearly different from the beautiful grass green color from 1992. I saw that they do the same with the colors of other re-releases. Perhaps to differentiate between the original and the re-release? I don't like it that much, but maybe that's because I grew up with the nice grass green color and I immediately associate Raphael with that. On this new packaging you can also see how to transform the turtle. Here at point 5 is what I was just talking about. So that's Raphael, less old than the first 2, but still nice to see him again after all these years. And last but not least, enemy Bebop. He was also one of my favorites. And you can also see that from his condition. The paint is somewhat worn off, because I have also played with this one a lot. I always say that the original is better than the copy, but about this one, I have to say that this copy is at least as good as the original. I think it's a very nice version. Novelties have been added, but without changing the uniqueness of Bebop. Also in this version it has an ugly pig head with nose ring and sunglasses. And the red jacket and red boots are also very characteristic for him. I have recently seen a re-release of this action figure where the red boots were replaced by black boots. I find that incomprehensible. For me, Bebop's boots must be red. And in this version, extra weapons are hidden in the boots. Very cool. Of course, it wouldn't be a mutant version if you couldn't make it mutate. You can change the head and hands and then it becomes a human crook. Or change it from a human crook to Bebop. The retro mutagen is of course also included as an accessory. And a camera shell drill. With this figure, I personally miss his original garbage can shield a bit. But the extra weapons in his boots partially make up for that. I have a lot of nice memories of these 4 action figures. It brings back many beautiful moments of joy. Feel free to write down your comments or maybe your favorite turtle or story under this video. You can also like and subscribe. It's free. Thanks for watching and until the next video.